So the question on the table is potential enough? Is potential enough to build a strong, lasting relationship? Or do I need some concrete evidence? I want to really answer that question for you today. I want you to, if you haven't already, go grab something to write with. Grab your journal, grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your pen, silence the noise, and let me give you permission to think differently as we deal with the topic today, is potential enough? Let's go. Well, hey guys, David Burris here, life and relationship coach, and we're going to do something today that I'm very passionate about. We're going to talk about relationships. I love this topic. I love this conversation, and that is what I strive to do on this channel. If you have not already, I want you to hit that notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I want you to, as we're journeying through this conversation today, comment below and let me know which one or two of these really spoke loudest to you. We're asking the question, is potential enough? And I get this question quite a bit when I'm speaking to single men and women, especially when I'm doing Q&A at a conference or a virtual event. And I thought I would just take a second to answer this question, is potential enough? Now, before we dive in, I want to share this with you. When you think about Adam and Eve and you think about their story, I want you to consider the fact that Adam and Eve were created at the same time. Yet Adam was placed in the earth. He was formed separately. He was placed in the earth before Eve. Now, before they were created, God said, I want you two to do four things. I want you to be fruitful. I want you to multiply. I want you to replenish. I want you to subdue. He gave both of them the instruction together in the realm of the spirit. Then he placed Adam in the earth in the natural, in his flesh. He held Eve back. So I want you to consider the fact that Adam is in the earth with a mandate to be fruitful, multiply, replenish, and subdue, and no one to do it with. That's why God said it's not good for man to be alone. That word alone is really comprised of two words, the word all and the word one. Alone, it's not good for man to be all one. God said, I will make him a helper, a helper. So God refers to Eve, before he called her a wife, he called her a helper or a helpmeet, which means that she is only dealing with a man who has potential. If he doesn't need help, he doesn't have any potential. But the fact that he is in need of a helpmeet or helper tells us that he has potential and he needs partnership. So I want you to just pause for a second to hear this and understand that you are only going to marry someone who has potential. And the reason why we say that is because your presence in their life is going to take them to the level that they couldn't get on without you. And so you are going to come as a gift to them. You're coming to add to them, and you're coming to help them fulfill their potential. So we're just going to stop here and just say, listen, you are only going to marry someone with potential. Having said that, there are a few things I want you to really consider before you make a commitment. I'm going to give you 5 questions to ask yourself. I had to write them down because they're kind of lengthy. And so you're going to see me look down at my page. It's only because I want to make sure that I word it correctly, because I want you to get the exact question I want you to ask. All right. When you're ready to take those notes, I just want you to type or comment ready in the comment below, and let's dive in. Here's question number 1. Are they making promises without progress? It's a great question. One of the ways that you can identify whether or not their potential is worth it is if they are making progress with the promises. Now, if they're making all promise and no progress, I submit to you that their potential isn't worth it. You want to be with someone who is not just making promises about what they're going to do, but who's making progress. You want to see them moving towards something. By the way, what you also want to examine when you are observing their life is, what have they fulfilled? What have they accomplished? What have they started and finished? If you can identify anything that they have started and finished, man, you got to be careful with that potential. You don't want to be with someone who makes all promise and no progress. So the first question you want to ask is, are they making promises where they're lacking progress? Here's the second question I want you to really get into the habit of asking yourself. Are they self-motivated, or are you always the one having to push growth? Wow, what a question. Are they self-motivated, or are you always the one that has to push growth? You're always the one asking them, hey, did you apply for that job? Hey, did you apply for that loan? Hey, did you start that business? Hey, did you write a chapter this week? You're always having to push growth. If you have to drag someone to their purpose and drag them to their destiny, I submit to you that they're wanting you to be their God. And the last thing you want to have to do is be someone's God, or at least someone's life coach, when you're designed to be their partner. So the second question I want you to really get into the habit of asking is, are they self-motivated? Or are you always the one that has to push growth? By the way, hey, I might as well put this here. I want you asking these questions for yourself as well. Am I self-motivated? Or do I need someone to always push me to growth? If I'm not self-motivated, I submit I'm not ready for a relationship. Let me also just pause by saying this. When you find yourself married, that you're signing up to be a team, which means both of us have to show up with our best effort to get us to our ultimate goal. And if I've got to drag you to the finish line, if you've got to drag me to the finish line, listen to this, one of us isn't necessary. Oh, it's crazy. I know it. Hurtful almost. I know it. Here's the truth though. If I've got to drag you to your potential, one of us isn't necessary, because we're signing up for a partnership. We're doing this thing together, and both of us come with gifts, talents. Both of us come with ideas. Both of us come with power. Both of us come with potential, and we want to make sure that we're putting both of us are putting those things on the table. So the first question I want you to ask is, are they making promises where there is no progress? Question number 2 is, are they self-motivated, or are you the one that always has to push the growth? Here's the third question I want you to ask, and now we're really pondering, is their potential worth it? Is their potential worth it? And in order to really identify that, you have to ask yourself question number 3, do their values align with mine truly, or are they just aligned ideally? Are they aligned with my life truly, or are they just aligned ideally? In other words, do we really value the same things, or are they adjusting their values based on what they hear me say? Here's an even better question. Are you adjusting your values based on what you hear them say? Because the truth is that each of us comes with values. And for us to have a successful relationship, our values have to be aligned. Here's the thing, not our lives aligned. If you're building a relationship on aligned lies, you're going to be in trouble. You want to build the relationship on aligned values, which means that you have to be honest about who you are, what you desire, what you need, what you expect, what you will tolerate, what you will not tolerate, what your deal breakers are, what your non-negotiables are, what your mission is, what your values are. You've got to be clear about that. And then they have to be the same thing, so that when we're doing life together, our values are in alignment. Now, this is critical because there'll be some times where we're going to disagree, where we're not going to be on the same page. There are going to be some times when your marriage is going to experience some adversity, some trials, some storms. It's going to get rocky. And if you don't have the same values, you're going to be in trouble. We have have the same values. My wife and I, we've been married 22 years, together 32 years. We've been married 22, we've been together 32, and we have had some hard times in our marriage. And one of the things that really kept us together when things were trying to pull us apart is we had shared values. Our values were the same. Our mission was the same. We were moving in the same direction. So when we were at times feeling like we were the ops or opposition toward one another, it was our values that kept us. So you want to make sure that you don't have values just in theory, but you have values in reality. Your values have to truly align. Number 4, so we're talking about potential. Is potential enough, or do I need to see more? Here's question number 4 I want you to ask. Have they demonstrated emotional maturity in hard moments? Have they demonstrated emotional maturity in hard moments? Oh, this is critical. This is key, because you will, like I said before, you're going to have some hard moments in your marriage. I want to pause just for a second to say this. When I say you're going to have hard moments, you're going to have storms, you're going to have adversity, I'm not saying that to scare you. And here it is. I'm not even saying that to curse you. I'm saying that to prepare you. The truth about the storms that come in marriage is the storms are what make us strong. The storms are what give us our strength. And so we have to have storms. We have to have adversity. We have to have challenges. It has to be challenging at times so that we can get to who God called us to be. And so I don't want you to avoid the storms. I want you to lean into them. But in singleness, you want to ask the question, have they demonstrated emotional maturity, and especially in hard moments? If you two have found yourself in a hard moment and they're acting childish, if they're acting immature, if they act like they don't know how to communicate, if they act like they don't know how to get past a storm, if they harbor resentment, if they get quiet, give you the silent treatment for 2 or 3 days, I submit to you, they're not mature enough to do life with you. You need someone who knows how to be mature when times get hard, when times are challenging, when times are troubling. And so the question you want to ask yourself is, have they displayed emotional maturity in moments of adversity? That's going to be key. All right, this last one is not the most important, but it is powerful, and I want you to lean in. Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. If they never change, could I build a life with who they are today? If this person never changed, could I build a life with who they are today? When I'm coaching couples, and especially couples who we're doing premarital coaching, I always ask the question, I ask it this way: if they never change, could you live with this for the rest of your life? And you have to be honest with yourself. There are certain things that you have observed about them, certain things that you've experienced, felt, right? And so you want to be honest with yourself and ask, hey man, if this never changed, could I live with who they are today? Who this person, if they never changed, if they never became better, if that thing that I don't like about them never went away, if that thing that frustrates me about them never changed, could I live with this person for the rest of my life? You have to be honest with yourself about that, because what you don't want to do is to shackle yourself to someone who will become a burden to you later. This is a little graphic, but I want you to consider this. If you handcuff yourself to a corpse, they will cause you to die quicker than you will cause them to live. That was tough to say and even tough to hear, but I want you to hear that. If you handcuff yourself to a corpse, that corpse will contaminate your life quicker than your life will heal theirs. You're probably not going to bring them back to life sooner than they will rush you to death. And so what you don't want to do is handcuff yourself to someone who is not moving in the same direction, who does not have the same values as you, who is unwilling to change, unwilling to grow, unwilling to learn, unwilling to communicate, unwilling to become more mature, unwilling to become better for themselves and for you. You don't want to be bound to anything like that. And so you want to ask, if they never change, could I build a life with who they are today? Now, let's recap all 5. Here's question number 1. Are they making promises without progress? We're asking the question, is there potential enough? And I want to look at a few things. I want to ask question number 1. Are they making more promises than they're making progress? If they're making more promises than progress, I submit to you, their potential is not enough for you. Maybe enough for someone else. It's not enough for you. Here's question number 2. Are they self-motivated, or am I always the one that has to promote growth? Are they self-motivated, or am I always the one that is always pushing, promoting, trying to get them to grow? Question number 3. Do their values align with yours truly, not just ideally? Do their values align with yours truly, not just ideally? Here's question number 4. Have they demonstrated emotional maturity in hard moments? Have you seen them demonstrate emotional maturity when moments were hard? Then question number 5. If they never changed, could I live with who they are? Could I build a life with who they are? Could I build anything sustainable with who they are today? It's a wonderful question. Now, single, engaged, married, divorced, male, female, black, white, I don't care who you are, we all need help. And I've created a community called Marriage Ready, where we do just that. Whether you are single, desiring marriage, engaged, on your way to marriage, or married and want a better marriage, Marriage Ready is for you. We meet every week via Zoom, and we do this. We dive in. If you appreciated this, we go so much deeper. We're going to incorporate some scripture. We're going to incorporate some Q&A. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to build together. It's an amazing community, and I want you there. I want to mentor you. I want to coach you. I want to help you get to the next level in your life, in your relationships, in leadership. And Marriage Ready is where we do that. So I want you to look at the caption of this video. There's a link to Marriage Ready. Hit that link, see what it's about, and come join us, because I want to join your success team. Again, my name is David Burris. So happy that you were able to lean in today for a few moments. Again, comment below. Let me know what spoke loudest to you. Share this with somebody, and make sure you subscribe to this channel so that we can go further, faster together. All right, until next time, remember, you have permission to think differently. Y'all take care.